Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. It's been 46 days since Mama Joyce here was able to see her son, and we cannot even imagine what that feeling is when you're at home and you cannot hear the sound of your child for several days, not just one day, not even just a few hours, but for several days. What does that do to you as a human being? What does that do to the community around you? What does that do to your family as well? We're here not to discuss or debate on the policies, but we're here to understand that human experience and what it means. What is the cost of it emotionally, psychologically, financially? And I'm joined here by Joyce. Thank you so much, Joyce. Mama Lama, karibu sana. I'm also joined here by a psychologist, Beverly Onyango, karibu sana. And I'm joined also by Nation, karibuni sana, who also works with communities facing these many challenges. Maybe we should start with Joyce. What was it the day before? Just describe your little boy.
It was a normal day. My baby was the day or the day before?
Yeah, just him. Just describe how
I describe him. My baby is the sweetest. I'll describe him as that. He has autism, but he cannot communicate properly, but he has his ways of showing he loves you, or he's playful, he's cheeky. Yeah, I just miss him. I just miss him.
On the day, could you describe the events of the day? What happened before and after you realized that he's not around?
He was playing. He was playing in the veranda of the corridor, up in the area, qua veranda plot, and the gate is usually closed. As I said, my baby is autistic, so he does not go outside without someone. So on that day, he was playing with the neighbors' kids, because he usually plays on the corridor. Everyone could hear him playing. But a few minutes after, there was silence. And when we went outside, you know, when you have a child and you hear some silence, you're usually, where is he playing? He must be checking around somewhere. So you go out and find the gate wide open. The child is not there. So you start panicking. Where has the child gone? So on that day, we went outside looking for him, never found him.
Wow, Nation, when a situation like this happens, what does your office do, or what should a parent in that situation do? What are the steps that they need to follow?
First of all, I want to say sorry for that. In most cases, it's quite unfortunate that when parents lose such children, the experience is quite unbearable. So in most cases, when we miss such a child, we experience we're in such a situation, we always ask the parents to report the matter immediately to the children's department, or by just calling 116 to report such cases. Because sometimes you find that maybe such cases go unreported, and sometimes people might not know exactly what to do at that point, because you can imagine as a parent missing your child, and then sometimes you are confused where to go, where to start. So it is important sometimes to just inform the relevant authorities. We have sensitized our Nyumba Kumi initiatives. They know what to do. So it's quite unfortunate, and what I can say is that as much as it's something that you don't know who is responsible for, maybe who has maybe abducted the child, we always ask parents to just calm and then take it like as a normal thing, report, and then from there we can maybe trace from there. We see maybe where the child is, maybe through maybe social media. Sometimes you find people posting a child is missing, maybe wearing such and that. So that is what I can say, that you can just report by dialing 116, the child helpline line. It's a national toll-free line, just to report a missing child.
In how long should you report? After how long has the child not been in sight for you to be able to report?
You can report immediately. Let's say, for instance, for her case, once she realized that the child is missing, it was important for her to just call immediately. The number is 24/7 active. You just call and then tell whoever that receives that call that my child is missing. He was playing, probably how she's explaining, so that action can be taken immediately through the children's department.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll still get back to you on why parents do not know that process. Is it an issue of civic education, or what is the problem? What are the gaps in between? But I'll get back to you. Before that, Beverly, please take us through the mind of a parent who's going through this. You are a psychologist and you do deal with people who are going through different types of situations, this being one of them. What, if a parent comes to you at that point, what are some of the things that you have seen such parents or relatives are going through psychologically, and how can the community and friends around them help them to cope?
This parent is going through something we're calling an ambiguous loss. It's a loss that is not necessarily defined. You know, when you have lost someone, it is easy to know that maybe they were unwell and they're not there anymore. But now this parent comes in and there's hope that we know the child is not gone in terms of not there anymore, but we also don't know where the child is. So there's this, you're in an area where you're not sure, do I mourn or do I stay hopeful? And that is mostly what you find this parent is dealing with. There is an intense sadness of daily things that they used to do can't happen anymore. But you don't know, do I feel sad? Do I remain hopeful? And that is the dilemma where this parent is always juggling. That you can hear someone else's child and you're like, is it my child? You hear the kids playing and you remember, this is what used to happen. You even go and, you know, I'm sure you have probably had a conversation with someone who has lost someone, and they tell you, I think I've seen them, and you're sure this person is not there. Equally to this mother, that you can hear another child and you think, that is my child. So you're not settled at any point. There is the anxiety that comes in on a daily, because when a phone rings, is it anyone telling me news about my child? So there's always an anxiety, unsettling. You're not comfortable. You cannot eat because, and we were speaking with her, she's saying, how do I eat when I don't know if my child is eating where they are? You know, so there's just unsettling feeling that this parent has, and they can't be able to even sit still. So their mental turmoil and the things that are going on in their mind is so much that it's not one thing that you can point and say this is what they're dealing with, but it is all this coupled together.
Wow. We don't want to have this conversation just the four of us here. So we want to encourage our viewers. Please, you can communicate with us. You can share your experiences. You can also ask questions on our WhatsApp number, which you will see on the screen. Share with us your experiences. Ask your questions. We're here to respond to them. And that brings me to Joyce. Mm-hmm. What she's describing, mm-hmm. is it what you're going through?
Yeah.
And have you been able to find help?
Find help in terms of
the support she's talking about. You know, if you're in a situation where you are thinking about him, you're hearing other children, it's triggering you, you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed? Umepata labda psychologist karibu na wewe pale unaishi mtaani, or are you talking to your family and friends? What kind of support have you found so far?
I found support from friends and family. Yeah, because they're really trying to make me be around people. At this moment, they don't want me to be alone because it gets overwhelming. Like she said about seeing kids. So now I see kids going, coming out from school, and I'm like, where's my kid? He's not going to school. I'm not sure if he's eating. As I said, my kid is autistic, so he's very choosy about what he eats. And if he's with someone who cannot tolerate that, he probably is not eating. He's on medication. If he does not take medication, he convulses. So I don't know at what state my child is. He might be somewhere in a children's home or with someone, but I do not know which state my child is in at this moment.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think you do not have to feel any pressure to continue. If you feel like to relax, please just relax as we carry on. These parents need support, psychological support. They need support in finding their children as well. What do you have to offer as an institution, as the government? What is there for them to be able to plug in or to be connected to get the support that they need?
Well, I want to encourage my colleague here that there are existing systems that you can help to trace such a child. Especially I'm like feeling for her because the child is a special child, and one thing I want to say that there's existing systems within the government structure that when such a case is reported, you can always work around. I'm not sure whether she has informed the children's department, whether they are aware. And then again, from what she's going through emotionally, psychologically, we also encourage her to seek some counseling support services in the nearest health facilities, especially the public health facilities where we have free services. So that is counseling, because she really needs a lot of emotional and psychological support, while we look other ways of how we can help trace the child. That's what I can say. But generally, I can say that there are existing systems whereby we can help. We have other organizations that are working around maybe that are helping trace such kids. And the immediate one that I said is just call the child helpline line 116 to report such cases. So yeah, that's what I can say.
So earlier on, I had asked you, why do you think parents are not aware of the systems that are in place? Where is the gap?
I believe it is a lack of awareness. People need to know. There are information that most people don't know that they are there. So what I can say is that probably from maybe our civil society organizations can help us come on board and try to sensitize the community about how we can report such cases. Yeah.
Whew. And it's so easy for many people in such a situation to say, I can only imagine what you're going through, because not all of us are going through it. But what is it about the situation you're in right now and your experience that you want people to be able to understand?
To understand?
Yes, like to be able to understand your situation better. you know, we are all trying to give you comfort or give you advice, but what are the things that, being in that situation, the things that you truly need?
Okay. So, in terms of advice on what people are advising in one, if you don't have anything good to say, it's rather you don't say it, because some people can be insensitive. Like, I'm seeing kids who are showing up in rivers without eyes, without things. Your kid is probably sacrificed somewhere, and you know that's such an insensitive thing to say. If you don't have something good to say, it's rather you just don't say it. That's one thing I will say. Even in advising someone, that people are like, just move on with your life. Kids show up even 20 years later, 10 years later. It might look like good advice, but so you're telling me I just go on with my life, my kid will show up in 2046. How? Why? I have to do everything that I can. Probably my child is probably somewhere waiting for me to come and find him. And if I give up, I give up, that's all. He'll never be found, because I'm the only one who can do that for him.
Wow. This sensitivity you're talking about, that people need to be more sensitive when they're even giving you advice or they're giving you their opinion about the situation. There's a parent out here who's probably in a similar situation or might get into a similar situation. As a psychologist, what would you advise them?
Make sure to surround yourself with people who are supportive. Just as you said, there are a lot of people who around you are not supportive and will say things that are not necessarily aimed to help you. So have a community around you only for people who understand. The other thing, it's very important for all of us to be very aware about what we are saying to someone in such kind of a situation. And with the emergence of, say, social media, as much as it's coming to help us to make the awareness, sometimes it gives people the authority to speak to us, thinking that because you have seen my poster, now you know me, and now you have the courage to tell me what to do. So it's for this parent to stay around a community. If possible, stay around your family or people who will support you to help you with the normal activities that you would normally do. Because at this point, the things that you normally would do, which is getting up, getting ready, preparing the house, cooking, are things that will not come naturally. They will not come easily as they used to be, because your mind right now is preoccupied with what you're dealing with. So stay around people who can help you with this, help you with the cleaning, help you with the preparing of the food, such that the only thing that is on your plate is dealing with the child, is looking for the child, is dealing with yourself, just so that you're able to do the other things that you have to do now, be it showering, eating, just taking care of yourself in this situation. That is what is necessary. So even as a community, what we need to do is to be as supportive as we can be to the people who are dealing with this. Go see them, and even as you see them, you do not have to say a word. Just be present. Sit with them. Sit by their side. Help them prepare that cup of tea. Help them clean their house. Help them do the laundry. You don't have to have a conversation with them. Allow them to grieve or mourn or deal with the loss as much as they would want, in a way that they would want, such that even if you go to see them and they are just in their room and quiet, you don't have to force them out. You can stay with them and support them in that case as they are. If you go and this time they say they want to sit or they are crying, you don't have to say anything. Just sitting by their side is enough support that you can give to someone in this kind of situation.
Thank you so much. Nashon, yes. Parents are in different stages when they are missing their children. There are those who are, the children have disappeared for a long period of time, and then there are those whose children come back. In your experience, what are some of the psychological changes that happen in families when children come back?
Well, what I will say is when children are missing for quite some times, and then all of a sudden maybe they come back, they come to be found. Some people tend to assume that maybe once the child who has been lost for quite some times, maybe probably it's now the caregiver or the parent is now healed by seeing the child. What I can say is that it needs to be like a continuous support. Like even if the child has been found, there is that impactful emotional, psychological effects still ringing in the parent's mind, even looking at the child, probably where the well-being, mentally, psychologically. So it's like a continuous support. We tell the parents to continue seeking for professional counseling support, taking their children back to the facility, maybe to the hospital for medical attention and all that. That's what I can say, yeah.
And this conversation just takes me back. It's very nostalgic for me because when I was 9, I went missing for about 9 hours in Mombasa. And that experience, it's not very clear in my head at this time in my life. But I remember the people who found me is a group of young boys who used to sit just outside our house. And that makes me curious if the government is taking any special notice of these maybe vigilante groups or young men and women who are in the community who help with the searches, and if there's any plan to actually empower them the way we do, with the community health workers. Are there any such plans to empower such young people to be able to be more professional in these searches, because they're the people on the ground? The first people you reach out to is definitely not the police. You start telling your friends and your family and people around you. What plans does the government have to empower these young people to help in these searches?
Yeah, as Ali mentioned, we through the Children's Department, we have the people we call CPVs, the Children Protection Volunteers, who are always found in the communities. So immediately such a case is reported, they move with the speed and they inform maybe their networks, so that they usually help to find such children who are missing. So so for that I can say the existing systems, their mechanisms, the government is working with other agencies to make sure that these cases, once they are reported, they can be traced. And then, yeah, that's what I can say about the existing systems and channels of trying to trace such cases, yeah.
Thank you so much. We are receiving some feedback from our viewers. Somebody here says, my sister lost her baby of 2 years after 12 years. She saw someone posted her on Facebook. Her brother uses the chance to convince the one who posted the missing baby in a way that he wants to marry her. He was given phone number of missing child. They meet, take her back home, and went for DNA. The results was good. Wow, that's quite an interesting turn of events there. And she's still typing, but we are going to get back to that feedback much later. But thank you so much. Make sure you share with us your comments and your feedback and your questions as well on our WhatsApp number, because we're here to experience together and to help each other to overcome the challenges that come to families when the child is missing. Now, let's get back to you. Joyce, it's been 46 days, and I can see that it's overwhelming, but you're keeping on. Where are you getting this strength from?
as I said, I have to show up every day and look for my child, because no one else will. If I give up, that's it. That child will disappear forever. He's expecting me to find him. Yeah, I'm his only hope. I can say that.
So when you look at how was your day, maybe you can describe how your day was before, a day in your life was before, and how a day in your life is today.
Okay, a normal day in my life was, on a normal day you wake up, shower, prepare, go to work, take your child to school, and that's it. Then you come back later, life goes on. But now you wake up, go to the cyber, print posters, move to children's home, police stations, post about this missing child, because you don't know who will see the post. That's why I'm like doing everything I can so that maybe someone will see the child and be like, I saw this child somewhere, being posted somewhere, or someone had a poster somewhere, and they might bring him back to me. Because it went from a missing child to now I'm scared that someone probably took him, because I was posting a missing child on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And then there was another poster. Someone made a whole poster that this child was found. And people are like, you're posting this child, we saw he was found. So I don't know who posted a poster of my child, with the face of my child, saying thank you for everyone who shared the child was found, because that was so intentional. On a normal day you will probably, if it was found, well and good, but someone created a whole poster to say thank you for whoever shared. So I was like, who will have all this time to make a whole poster of my child saying, I don't know if it's a joker. That's what I was saying about being insensitive, or if it's someone who has the child and has seen this post is going viral and is trying to divert the minds of people to stop searching for the child, because I don't know what the intention is, and I wish the police helped with this, but they keep saying maybe it's a con man, so they're not really helping in that way. But I just hope I find him. And if it's someone who's probably playing with me, just return my child.
I think just speak to them. Speak to them. We'll be sharing your number as well with our viewers. And if you have seen this child and the picture has been on our screens, call that number. You can also contact us on TV47, and let's bring the boy, let's bring Lama back home. Let's bring Lama back home. And the number is right there. Joyce, if someone is watching right now, what do you want to tell them? Please speak to them.
If you've seen this child, as you've seen on the screen, if you've seen the child who looks like this in a company of someone or somewhere, just know he's lost, and the one who has the child is not the parent. If you see him anywhere, just contact me. My number is 07, it's on the screen. If you see him, just contact me, or you can bring him to any police station in Dandora. I think that's the closest to where I can find him. Or even contact TV47 maybe. If you see him, just bring him home. Yeah, he still needs his medicine, everything, and I need him and he needs me. I know he's probably scared or confused. Yeah, just bring him home.
Please bring Luther back home to Joyce. That is the message there from Joyce the mom. The number is on our screens. The little boy needs his mother. He needs his medication as well. So if you happen to see him or see someone who looks like him, please make sure you contact the number that was on your screen or reach out to us on TV47. So let's just carry on with this conversation. Beverly, the mind of this child, especially when they return, what are some of the things that we need to look out for, even for the parent, when now the child has come back home?
Some of the things that we'll notice in the child is fear. That they'll be very startled at small things. Hear the door close and they're shaken because of probably that experience of being away. Whether anything happened to them or not, they were in an environment where they're not used to. They're with people they're not used to. They felt unsafe. So any small thing could make them scared. Then there is a likelihood that they could go back in milestones. Yeah, you see, after birth, there are milestones that the child normally goes through. You're born, you're able to support your neck, you're able to sit, you're able to eat, you're able to walk, and then slowly by slowly, then all the way to go to school. So you even stop wetting the bed. But some of the things that you could notice is once they're back, they could go back steps. In that a child who was not wetting the bed now starts wetting the bed at night. A child who was able to talk now is not talking anymore. A child who was able to walk, depending on the age, is not able to walk anymore. Maybe they were able to write and go to school, and now they are not able to write. This is not a choice that they are making, but their mind has been traumatized by the events of what they have gone through, and now they go back and regress through things. There is waking up at night scared. They could wake up and scream. So you would notice that this child is not comfortable in anything. They could be more clingy to the parent or to the caregiver, such that probably you would wonder, this child was able to, I could go to work, but now any moment I am about to leave, they are so clingy, doesn't want me to leave my sight, because of the experiences that they have gone through. So you'll notice that even in school, they may not perform as good as they used to. They may not be able to concentrate in class if they come back and they've gone back to school, that they could be gazing, just zoning out, going back into what happened, trying to relieve or trying to get out of what they have experienced. So the emotional and the mental trauma that this child goes through is quite much. And as much as they may not be able to verbalize it, they will show it in these kind of signs and symptoms.
Nashon, you're a psychologist as well. What would you advise parents to do? What are the steps they should take to be able to deal with what Beverly has just described?
So one thing I would like to say is this is a moment that she really needs help, both psychologically, socially. She needs people around to support her. And then you see, sometimes it happens that immediately the child is missing. Some people are just there. All of a sudden they start withdrawing slowly. So they leave their parent with lonely. So what I would advise probably the community, the people around maybe who are knowingly that the parent is missing her child, they really need to be very close to the parent and also show that the efforts that they are helping to look for that child. And as usual, as always, we also tell people to keep on checking. We have the community people. You can use even the chief's office and many other areas that maybe can help to find the child. We have the organizations that also are supporting in terms of children who are missing. We have the Missing Child Kenya. We have the Kenya Red Cross. We have many other people who are maybe can come together so that they can help trace the child. So it's a time that the parent really needs to be very close to the people. If she feels that she's not okay, she can always talk to the counselors, and so that at least by the time, it's as my colleagues say that it's like an ambiguous experience that you don't know whether you are going to find that child alive or like someone who is grieving. why don't it like appear like then like it's done? Like they are confused somehow. So they really need people very close to them so that they can support them and also show that they are committed to trace the child. Yeah.
And in your experience, are there types of missing children? You know, like she's not been asked for any ransom. Nobody has called you. Has anybody called you and asked for any ransom?
I have been called back.
You have been called? Please take us through that experience.
So I have a few people who have called. The recent one was demanding 20,000, but when you tell them send me the photo of the child or do a video call, they don't have photos, they can't. So you know it's a con man because it's a number of people just, you see, like my number is on the screen. A con man might take the number and start calling me demanding for money. So you know, this is what I'm saying. I'm not sure if it's jokers at this point or it's someone who has the child and is playing with my mind. That's why.
That must be very difficult. We'll still get back to Nation on this because you sit right at the heart of the systems. What are the gaps in the systems that are denying us an opportunity to actually get solutions to some of these problems?
That's a very difficult question. What I can say, there are challenges. You know, missing child is not just a policing, like a systematic challenge alone. It's also a public health concern, whereby we try to there already we have policies in place. Like once a child is missing, maybe you report, blah blah. But I think where the gap is who knows where to get this child, who knows maybe what to do so that we can get that to fasten the process. So there might be challenges. However, I think the government is also doing its best that like there are people in the community who are responsible, who can help to trace such children. But now talking of people calling, you know, anybody can call you just to show that I want to help you. And once such a thing happens, it's important to go and report. You report to the police. Maybe the police can also help to trace such people. Could be con men, could be people taking advantage of your situation. So I think you can always report. You can report, don't tire, just keep on reporting so that we help each other. As also we see how we can also share with other people so that we know he will be found. He will be found at some point. Yeah.
Amen to that. Mama Luther here is saying she has been reporting, and you are encouraging her to keep on reporting and keep the hope alive until we find Luther and bring him back home. And that's what we are all praying for. And not just for Luther, but all other children who have been missing in the recent past. We are hoping that the child will come back home and the family will be reunited. But even as they get reunited, Beverly here has spoken about how there are complexities with those relationships and rebuilding those relationships. So we also encourage the parents to also visit the counselors that are available. As you said, Nation, they're available in public hospitals.
Yes.
And it's free, isn't it?
Free.
So we do encourage our parents as well. If you are experiencing this, if you're living this experience that we are discussing here, that please do visit the public hospitals. There are counselors on call who are waiting to support you and take you through this journey psychologically and emotionally as well. Even as we continue with this discussion over here, you're not alone. Somebody here has just mentioned that the thing that breaks them the most is people who keep posting Luther is found. That's just insane how people can be so insensitive to run with a cause of this magnitude when someone is actually looking for their child. What would you say about our state of mind as a community?
I think we really underestimate what, as a country, we're going through, and the state of mind that we are going through, and how things are really tough. So at the end of the day, what anyone is looking for is a simple exhale, that we are here and there dealing with things on a daily. Like before we have had time to breathe, there is something else. And I remember I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were just wondering, so after the fuel shenanigans that was going on, and we had to stop everything for 2 days, we are supposed to get up on the third day and go back to work and resume everything like nothing happened. People had not made a living. Then before we even had time, there's the Ebola outbreak. Before we have time to deal with it, there was a tragedy that happened to the school, the girls, the Utumishi girls. And all these things are things that we may not know, but they're impacting our mental state. And we always say the body keeps the score. So we may not know that seeing this and hearing about the missing children, seeing what is going on in the country, femicides, the quarantine being open, all these things are taking a toll on us, because somehow you're processing what happens if the Ebola patients come. We know the disease. So somehow you're thinking and you're always trying to protect yourself, meaning that we are not in a very stable state, yet the economy things are going hard up. We are not able to sustain businesses, and every day all these things are things running through our mind, and not having time to process and really go through and say, actually this thing really broke me more than I thought. Watching the stories of the missing children has actually affected me more than I thought. Watching the Utumishi girl's story has affected me more than I thought. And it's something that I probably need to process. So you find that because we are not processing them, and if you notice then in social media, we are leading into making jokes all the time. Yet it's just a coping mechanism for us trying to cope with what we are going through. You find people now making such kind of things. You find people being pushed to the extremes of maybe lack of money, and they are calling her, trying to get money, and saying that acting as a ransom. So as a country, we're really not in a good place with what is going through mentally, and what we need to go through, even if not necessarily with a counselor, talk to a friend, talk to someone and actually say that, hey, baby, I think this story has affected me more than I thought. I think the way the country is right now is really overwhelming. At work, we are having a conversation about what happens as I have a background in nursing. What happens as nurses when we are brought these patients? We don't have the care, and we are already in a panic state. So when we are already in a panic state, then it means that everything else we will do in the panic. So can we have a community where you can talk, even if not with counselors or anything, you can talk to your friend and say, I am struggling, I am not okay, so that we are not ending up in the place where we're looking for any outlet to talk, any outlet to create the posters, to do the ransoms, that we can be able to be in a healthy mental state as much as things are going on, because things will always go on. But how are we dealing with the things that are going on right now?
How are we dealing with the things that are going on right now? Do you think there's any relationship with our living situation right now, and how can we overcome this? How can we team up, as a community and overcome this challenge that we are facing? Because what is contributing to this rise in missing children, do you think?
I just wanted to also say something on what is happening on the social media. The internet is something that is good, but to some extent I can see that there are kind of misleading information like someone posting that this child was found and yet was not. I think we really need to streamline, to strengthen, to make sure that the existing policies that by the government are fully implemented. Like once someone misbehave in such a manner, they need to be taken seriously. Like the law should be taken seriously. There's a way probably that the community needs to come very close to see how, because the rate at which children are missing is like, it's really raising a lot of concerns.
It's alarming.
And quite unfortunate that you find that sometimes these kids are found maybe brutally killed, and then so sad. Sometimes you find that they were trying to probably fight back. It's quite unfortunate. So we really need to, as a community, as a Kenyans, we need to really work very closely. We work to like multi-sectorally, like we all team up to see that, make sure that whatever that is causing people to abduct children, what is it? Maybe through the religions, we need to really find out what is happening, so that you know, government alone cannot like do all the work. We call upon civil society organizations and governmental organizations to come on board, so that we see on how we can, what are the causes of this, who are these people who are abducting our children, and with what intentions. So that's what I can say, because we are not happy as duty bearers. We also find ourselves in a situation where we cannot help. So something that we really need to talk and discuss across the board, so that we know what exactly is happening. Why are these people abducting our children, especially for the challenged children like her? So a child who cannot even express himself. So what is it? Why are we in this? Like, surely it's not a good thing. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult situation.
Yeah.
We cannot get into the mind of the person who does the abduction. Now they're actually using young children, teenagers, to do this. We saw a video where a young girl was actually being sent to do the abductions, and you know, society cannot even imagine. This is a 15-year-old who's walking with a 5-year-old, probably siblings or whatever, and only to find out that the girl has been used to do the abduction. And I think this speaks to our morality also as a community. What is going on with our children? For a child to accept to do such a task, what do you think is going on in the minds of our children, the 11-year-olds all the way to 18-year-olds and in between, who are now actively being used to go and abduct the children?
You see, during this age bracket that you're mentioning, the frontal part of the brain is not fully developed. And so what they're dealing with in that instance is just whatever it is that you think, let's do it. And if you look around, that is the age where there's a lot of rebellion, there's a lot of striking, a lot of this kind of things that you're going through. So because of that, it is easy, number one, for them to be taken advantage of by any adults. And then depending on the situation at home, and not to blame anyone, depending on the situation at home, you find that at this point, maybe you're looking for love, you're looking for care, then you go out on the streets and find someone who's telling you how they care, they love, and they're feeling for you a cup or something that you do not know is empty. And now you feel like, oh, I actually belong. This person hears me. this person sees me. So anything they say, I will do it because this is the only person probably who understands what I'm going through. And you see the way the adults who are maybe sending them, they are probably psychopaths, and they have mastered the art of knowing this one needs to be told this, to be told that I actually see you, I actually value you. And once I can be able to tell you this, then I can be able to tune your mind to go and do anything for me. Because there is this gap that the child, the 11 to 18-year-old is needing, and you are finding it in the wrong places.
Yeah.
So it is, again, a responsibility to us as the parents and the caregivers and the community at large to make sure we are present for the children, to make sure we are monitoring, to make sure we are seeing what is going on. And you see, with the technology and the awareness, it is easy for these people to be taken advantage of anywhere.
Thank you.
Then comparison also with social media. Once they start getting into this, then you go to a place where you are shown that you're valued, or you're being told, I will actually give you this life that you keep seeing. It is easy to go into the wrong direction.
Oh, time has really gone on a sprint on us. But thank you so much, Beverly, for those insights. We don't take that for granted. And thank you, Nation, for also guiding us with the systems that are in place that we can actually use when you find yourself in this situation. Maybe just run us that number again that we can actually reach out to.
Okay, for the child helpline is 116. That is, it's a toll-free line. You just call and then you report a case of a missing child. In Nairobi County, we also have an emergency line that is also a toll-free line, 1508. You can call and report such a case. Like for the case of the baby, once he is found somewhere, you can just dial and call, you report, and an ambulance can be always sent to pick that child and maybe drop him to the hospital for medical checkups. Yeah.
Thank you, Nation.
Yeah.
And Mama Luther, Joyce, thank you for your courage. Sharing your story with us, I'm sure, was not easy. But we are grateful that you are able to stand on behalf of all the parents who are having missing children. And we are praying that Luther gets back home and that you have a chance to enjoy life with your son the way it was before that fateful day. Dear listeners, viewers, thank you so much for being with us throughout this conversation. It was quite an intimate conversation. And we tried our best to devote our time into the matters of human interest. How can we find these children? How can we team up as a community? How can we overcome the hurdles that we're facing on the side that are making us do some of these things that are generally inhuman? So with that, I just want to wish you all a lovely evening. Remember, the numbers have been shared on the screens. I believe the help toll number is right there on our screen. And you can reach out to the number that we shared earlier on to reach out to Joyce, and also on TV 47, just reach out to us if you have any information about any of the missing children. Thank you so much. Have yourself a lovely evening. I'm Wakio Mzenge. Our sign language interpreter was Catherine Simaloy. Good night.